I believe there's some explanation for this universe, which you might call God.
Elon Musk, the enigmatic billionaire and technological innovator, has often been a source of awe, controversy, and fascination for the world. From revolutionizing the electric vehicle industry to pioneering private space exploration, Musk's ventures have continually pushed the boundaries of human imagination. But no event in his tumultuous career, nor any project in his impressive portfolio, could compare to the astonishing claim that he had returned from death itself with a profound message from Jesus Christ. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. The revelation came during what Musk later described as an unprecedented personal experience following a brief, medically confirmed death. While the details surrounding the circumstances of his temporary demise remain vague, rumors ranging from a freak accident to a mysterious health crisis, the heart of the matter lies in what Musk claimed happened during those few moments of clinical death. According to his account, the experience was unlike anything he had ever encountered, and it shook him to his core. Musk stated that as his consciousness faded, he found himself in a realm of indescribable light, where time and space seemed irrelevant. While many near-death experiences feature common elements like a tunnel of light or visions of loved ones, Musk's description ventured into uniquely existential and spiritual territory. He reported feeling enveloped by a presence of overwhelming love and understanding, one he identified as Jesus Christ. Musk, a figure often associated with scientific skepticism and a focus on empirical evidence, described this presence not as a religious abstraction, but as an undeniable living reality. What stood out most to Musk during this encounter was the communication he claimed to receive. Words, as he explained, were inadequate to convey the depth of the message, but he attempted to translate it into human terms. The essence of the message, as Musk recounted, centered on unity, the interconnectedness of all life, and the imperative for humanity to shift its focus from materialism to spiritual growth. Musk indicated that Jesus emphasized humanity's potential for both incredible greatness and devastating destruction, urging a collective awakening to ensure the former. The implications of Musk's claims were profound and far-reaching. Musk had always been a proponent of the future, whether through colonizing Mars, developing artificial intelligence, or promoting renewable energy, but his focus had primarily been on the tangible and the technological. This message from Jesus, as Musk interpreted it, introduced a deeply spiritual dimension to his worldview. It suggested a need to balance humanity's technological advancements with moral and ethical growth, to use tools like AI and space exploration not merely for survival, but as a means to elevate human consciousness. One aspect of the experience Musk highlighted was the idea of responsibility. He conveyed that Jesus placed a significant emphasis on the role of individuals like him, those in positions of immense influence and power, to lead humanity toward a better path. This notion appeared to weigh heavily on Musk, who admitted that his work often prioritized efficiency and results over deeper human values. The experience left him pondering how he could recalibrate his approach to innovation to align more closely with this newfound sense of purpose. Critics and skeptics were quick to dismiss Musk's account as either a publicity stunt, a hallucination brought on by the brain's reaction to dying, or a simple fabrication. Musk, however, seemed unfazed by the backlash. He insisted that his encounter had fundamentally changed him and that he felt compelled to share the experience regardless of public opinion. For a man known for his often brash and confident demeanor, this newfound vulnerability was striking. The timing of Musk's revelation also added layers of complexity to the narrative. It came at a period when the world was grappling with existential crises, from climate change to geopolitical instability and rapid technological disruption. Musk's emphasis on spiritual growth and unity felt both urgent and oddly out of character for a figure who had long championed a vision of the future that seemed to many coldly utilitarian. His followers were left wondering if this marked a turning point in how he would lead his companies and shape his legacy. Interestingly, Musk's recounting of his encounter with Jesus didn't adopt the language of organized religion. He didn't align himself with any specific doctrine or faith, but instead presented the experience as a universal message applicable to all of humanity. This approach resonated with many who, like Musk, identified as spiritual but not religious. it also made his claims more accessible to those who might otherwise dismiss traditional theological narratives. Some of Musk's most ardent supporters viewed the event as an extension of his visionary nature. They argued that just as Musk had been a trailblazer in technology, he might now be pioneering a new way of integrating spirituality with science. His companies, particularly those focused on artificial intelligence and space travel, suddenly took on a more profound dimension. What if, they speculated, the technologies Musk was developing were not just tools for survival, but vessels for humanity's spiritual evolution? On the other hand, detractors worried about the implications of Musk's claims. They questioned whether his newfound spiritual perspective might distract him from the practical challenges his companies faced. Could a focus on abstract spiritual ideals hinder the development of tangible solutions to real-world problems? Others expressed concern over the potential for Musk's influence to blur the lines between personal belief and public policy, particularly if his spiritual insights began to inform the direction of his projects. In the days following his revelation, Musk reportedly spent hours in introspection, seeking to understand the full implications of his experience. He spoke of feeling a renewed sense of gratitude for life and a profound connection to all living beings. This marked a stark contrast to his earlier reputation as a hard-nosed entrepreneur willing to make ruthless decisions in pursuit of progress. Musk's friends and colleagues noted subtle changes in his behavior: more patience, more empathy, and a deeper curiosity about the spiritual beliefs of those around him. The broader public reaction to Musk's claim was a mix of fascination, skepticism, and inspiration. For some, his story was a reminder of the mysterious and unexplainable aspects of existence, a testament to the idea that even the most rational minds could encounter something beyond their comprehension. For others, it was an opportunity to explore their own beliefs about life, death, and the possibility of a higher power. And for many of Musk's fans, it was yet another chapter in the ongoing saga of a man who seemed to defy categorization at every turn. Despite the controversies and debates surrounding the veracity of Musk's experience, one thing was clear: his message struck a chord with millions. His emphasis on unity and interconnectedness resonated in a world increasingly divided by politics, ideology, and economic disparity. His call to balance technological advancement with ethical and spiritual growth challenged humanity to rethink its priorities. And his willingness to speak openly about such a deeply personal and mystical experience offered a rare glimpse into the soul of a man often seen as enigmatic and unapproachable. Musk's account also reignited discussions about the nature of consciousness and the mysteries of the human mind. Scientists and theologians alike weighed in on the phenomenon of near-death experiences, debating whether they were purely neurological events or glimpses into a deeper reality. Musk's unique position as both a scientific innovator and a spiritual experiencer made his story a fascinating case study for those seeking to bridge the gap between science and spirituality. As the world grappled with the implications of Musk's claim, one question loomed large: what would he do next? Would his companies reflect this new spiritual dimension, or would the demands of running multi-billion-dollar enterprises pull him back into the realm of pragmatism? Would his encounter with Jesus inspire new projects aimed at fostering unity and ethical growth, or would it remain a personal journey with limited public impact? The answers, as with so much of Musk's life, were uncertain. The idea of Elon Musk receiving a message from Jesus carried symbolic weight beyond the specifics of his claim. It served as a reminder that no one, no matter how powerful or accomplished, is immune to the mysteries of existence. It highlighted the universal human yearning for meaning, connection, and purpose. And it underscored the idea that even in a world dominated by technology and science, there is still room for wonder, faith, and the unexplainable. The claim that Elon Musk had a near-death experience during which he encountered Jesus Christ and returned with a profound spiritual message captivated the imagination of millions around the world. While the initial revelation caused a stir, the implications and subsequent discussions unraveled into a deeper exploration of humanity's collective trajectory, the role of spirituality in technological progress, and the interplay between science and the metaphysical. Beyond the surface of the shocking announcement lay a myriad of questions, interpretations, and philosophical musings, each worthy of reflection. One of the most striking aspects of Musk's claim was its challenge to the perceived dichotomy between science and spirituality. For centuries, these two realms have often been viewed as opposing forces, one rooted in empirical evidence and the other in faith and belief. Musk, a figurehead of scientific advancement, seemed to bridge this gap, presenting his experience as evidence that the two realms might not only coexist, but also complement one another. His narrative suggested that humanity's exploration of the universe, from the depths of artificial intelligence to the farthest reaches of space, could be enriched by an understanding of the spiritual dimensions that bind existence. This perspective prompted discussions about the moral and ethical frameworks that guide technological innovation. For years, Musk had been vocal about the potential dangers of unchecked advancements, particularly in artificial intelligence. He had called for regulatory oversight and philosophical discourse to ensure that powerful technologies were developed responsibly. His encounter with Jesus seemed to magnify this urgency, framing the conversation in terms of spiritual accountability. If humanity was, as Musk claimed Jesus suggested, deeply interconnected, then the consequences of technological misuse were not just practical or political, but profoundly spiritual. One arena where this intersection became especially poignant was Musk's work with Neuralink, his company dedicated to brain-machine interfaces. Neuralink's goal of augmenting human cognition and addressing neurological conditions suddenly took on a new significance in light of Musk's experience. Could this technology, intended to improve the mind, also have implications for the soul? If consciousness was a bridge to a greater spiritual reality, as Musk's encounter seemed to imply, then Neuralink's work might not merely enhance intellect but also provide tools for deeper spiritual exploration. Such ideas sparked both excitement and controversy, with some lauding the potential and others warning of unintended consequences. The message Musk claimed to have received also raised questions about humanity's role in the universe. Musk had long championed the idea of humanity as a multiplanetary species, arguing that colonizing Mars and other celestial bodies was essential for survival. Yet his encounter with Jesus suggested a broader purpose, not just survival, but transcendence. Musk spoke of a vision where humanity's expansion into the cosmos was driven not by fear of extinction, but by a desire to contribute to the greater harmony of existence. This reframing of the space race, from an escape plan to a spiritual mission, offered a profound shift in how the future of exploration could be imagined. Such a paradigm shift extended beyond space travel. Musk's involvement in Tesla and renewable energy technologies gained a new layer of meaning as well. While Tesla's mission had always been about sustainability, Musk's spiritual experience added a moral imperative to the pursuit. Protecting Earth, he implied, was not just a matter of necessity, but also an act of reverence for creation itself. The shift from seeing Earth as merely a resource to a sacred space tied to a divine interconnectedness resonated with environmentalists and spiritual thinkers alike, fostering a new sense of urgency around climate action. The philosophical implications of Musk's message reached into the realm of human relationships and societal structures. His emphasis on unity and interconnectedness invited a re-evaluation of the ways in which modern society operates. Musk's description of humanity's potential for both incredible greatness and catastrophic destruction highlighted the need for collective responsibility. It raised the question of whether the systems that govern the world, capitalism, nationalism, technological competition, were aligned with the spiritual principles he described. Could humanity shift from models of division and exploitation to ones of cooperation and mutual upliftment? The challenge was as daunting as it was inspiring. For Musk personally, the experience seemed to deepen his introspection about leadership and influence. As one of the most influential figures of his era, his actions and decisions had far-reaching consequences. His encounter with Jesus, as he described it, carried an implicit directive to use his position for the greater good. This directive seemed to manifest in subtle but noticeable changes in his public persona. While Musk remained outspoken and provocative at times, there was a newfound depth to his commentary, a sense that he was grappling with the weight of his responsibilities in a more profound way. Meanwhile, theologians, scientists, and philosophers grappled with the implications of Musk's claim. Some viewed his account as a metaphorical narrative rather than a literal event, suggesting that it reflected Musk's subconscious processing of existential questions rather than an actual spiritual encounter. Others argued that Musk's account fit within a broader framework of near-death experiences reported across cultures and religions, pointing to common themes of light, love, and profound insight. These interpretations invited a re-evaluation of the nature of reality itself. Was Musk's experience a glimpse into a universal truth, or was it a construct of the human mind at the brink of death? Interestingly, Musk's narrative also invited comparisons to historical figures who blended scientific inquiry with spiritual insight. Figures like Albert Einstein, who spoke of a cosmic religious feeling, and Nikola Tesla, who often described his work in mystical terms, came to mind. Musk's experience placed him in this lineage of thinkers who saw no contradiction between exploring the physical world and contemplating the metaphysical. This connection lent his claims a certain gravitas, encouraging both supporters and skeptics to take his message seriously. Another aspect of Musk's claim that sparked discussion was its universality. By presenting his experience as a message for all of humanity, Musk transcended the boundaries of any single religion or ideology. While he identified the presence he encountered as Jesus Christ, he framed the message in terms that resonated with people from diverse spiritual backgrounds. This approach encouraged dialogue across faiths and philosophies, fostering a sense of shared purpose in addressing the challenges facing the world. It was a rare moment of convergence in a time often characterized by division. The cultural impact of Musk's revelation extended beyond philosophical debates. Artists, writers, and filmmakers began drawing inspiration from his story, creating works that explored the themes of interconnectedness, transcendence, and the blending of technology and spirituality. These creative expressions captured the imagination of audiences, turning Musk's personal experience into a collective exploration of humanity's potential. The blending of science fiction and spiritual themes became a prominent trend, reflecting the way Musk's narrative had reshaped the cultural zeitgeist. The ripple effects of Musk's claims were also felt in the corporate world. Other tech leaders and innovators began to reflect on the ethical dimensions of their work, inspired by Musk's emphasis on responsibility and interconnectedness. Some companies initiated internal discussions about aligning their missions with broader spiritual and ethical principles, while others sought to explore the intersection of technology and well-being more explicitly. Musk's story became a touchstone for a movement toward more conscious innovation. One particularly intriguing outcome of Musk's revelation was its impact on discussions about artificial intelligence. AI, often seen as a double-edged sword, became a focal point for exploring the intersection of technology and spirituality. Musk's message about interconnectedness suggested that AI, if developed with the right intentions, could serve as a tool for fostering greater understanding and empathy among humans. This perspective challenged the dystopian narratives often associated with AI and invited a more optimistic vision of its potential. As time passed, Musk's experience continued to influence both his work and the broader conversation about humanity's future. His companies began to emphasize not only innovation, but also the ethical and spiritual implications of their projects. SpaceX missions were framed as opportunities to explore not just the physical universe, but also the philosophical questions of existence. Tesla's focus on sustainability was deepened with an emphasis on reverence for the planet as a sacred trust. Neuralink's research began incorporating discussions about the nature of consciousness and its relationship to the broader fabric of reality. Musk's claim that he had returned from death with a message from Jesus was more than a sensational headline. It was a catalyst for a profound and far-reaching exploration of what it means to be human in an age of unprecedented technological advancement. It challenged individuals and societies to think beyond the material and consider the spiritual dimensions of existence. It reminded the world that even in the pursuit of progress, there is room for mystery, wonder, and the possibility of divine truth. For Musk himself, the experience marked a turning point, not an endpoint, but a new beginning in his journey as a thinker, innovator, and human being. His encounter with the unknown inspired not just awe, but action, pushing him to align his work more closely with the principles of unity, responsibility, and transcendence. Whether one believed his story or dismissed it as the product of a vivid imagination, there was no denying the impact it had on the way humanity envisioned its future. The revelation that Elon Musk had returned from death with a message from Jesus catalyzed a profound global conversation. As his account permeated public consciousness, The implications expanded far beyond Musk himself, resonating with people from every walk of life. Whether it was a moment of collective introspection, a call to action, or a spark for philosophical and spiritual exploration, the narrative rippled outward in ways that defied prediction. One of the most fascinating aspects of this event was its potential to alter humanity's perception of mortality. Musk's account touched on themes that have intrigued humankind for millennia. What happens after death, the purpose of life, and the possibility of something greater. His description of encountering a presence he identified as Jesus Christ challenged the materialist framework through which many interpret reality, offering a vivid counterpoint to the notion that consciousness ends with the cessation of biological life. While many dismissed his claims as subjective or delusional, others found in them a glimmer of hope, a sense that life was not confined to the boundaries of the physical world. This shift in perspective prompted renewed interest in areas of study that blend science and spirituality, such as consciousness research, near-death experiences, NDEs, and the philosophy of mind. Neuroscientists delved into the mechanisms behind NDEs, examining how the brain might process such profound experiences. Yet, Musk's stature as a figure of rationality complicated these discussions. Skeptics were forced to reckon with the fact that a man celebrated for his scientific and technological acumen had described his experience as utterly real and transformative. This juxtaposition of logic and mysticism gave his story an enduring magnetism. Musk's message of interconnectedness and unity found particular resonance in the scientific community, especially among those working in fields concerned with the origins and nature of the universe. Physicists and cosmologists speculated about whether Musk's encounter could be reconciled with the concept of a universal consciousness, a theory that suggests the fabric of reality itself may be imbued with awareness. Musk's emphasis on the interconnectedness of all life seemed to parallel ideas from quantum physics, where particles exhibit behaviors that suggest deep interconnectivity. These discussions brought new dimensions to the ongoing dialogue between science and spirituality, with Musk's experience serving as a provocative case study. For theologians, Musk's account presented an opportunity to revisit the concept of divine revelation in a contemporary context. While many religious traditions hold that spiritual truths are revealed through sacred texts or prophets, Musk's experience added a modern experiential layer to this understanding. Some theologians argued that his encounter with Jesus could be interpreted as a universal message transcending religious boundaries, one that emphasized unity and moral responsibility over dogma. Others cautioned against reading too much into the account, warning that subjective experiences, no matter how compelling, should not replace established teachings. Meanwhile, the cultural impact of Musk's story unfolded in increasingly unexpected ways. Popular media, from films and novels to podcasts and visual art, seized upon the narrative as a source of inspiration. Musk's claim of encountering Jesus during a brush with death became a symbol of human vulnerability, a reminder that even the most powerful and intelligent individuals are not immune to existential questions. Artists explored themes of mortality, redemption, and interconnectedness through their work, creating a global cultural moment that transcended traditional barriers of genre and medium. In the corporate world, Musk's revelation ignited discussions about the role of ethics and spirituality in business leadership. Tech companies, in particular, began examining how their work aligned with the values Musk described: unity, interconnectedness, and moral responsibility. Some executives adopted more conscious approaches to leadership, emphasizing the importance of creating technologies that uplift humanity rather than exacerbate inequality or harm the environment. Musk's message became a rallying cry for a new kind of corporate accountability, one rooted not just in profits but in principles. The social implications of Musk's message were equally profound. In an era characterized by division, his emphasis on unity inspired grassroots movements aimed at bridging ideological, political, and cultural divides. Community organizers drew on Musk's narrative to foster dialogue and cooperation, arguing that humanity's shared destiny necessitated a shift from competition to collaboration. While such efforts faced significant challenges, they underscored the potential for a single, compelling story to galvanize collective action. One of the more surprising outcomes of Musk's experience was its influence on education. Educators and curriculum developers began exploring how to integrate the themes of interconnectedness and moral responsibility into school systems. This shift reflected a growing recognition that technological proficiency alone was insufficient to prepare students for the complexities of the modern world. Instead, there was a push to cultivate empathy, ethical reasoning, and an awareness of humanity's place within a broader, interconnected reality. Musk's account became a touchstone for these efforts, demonstrating the power of narrative to inspire systemic change. Even within the realm of space exploration, Musk's story spurred a reconsideration of humanity's approach to the cosmos. Space agencies and private companies alike began framing their missions in more philosophical terms, emphasizing the spiritual and existential dimensions of exploring other worlds. Musk's vision of humanity as a multiplanetary species, previously driven by the pragmatics of survival, now carried an additional layer of meaning, a desire to honor the interconnectedness of the universe by seeking harmony both within and beyond Earth. Another fascinating development was the response of grassroots spiritual communities. Musk's narrative resonated particularly strongly with those who identified as spiritual but not religious, a demographic that has grown significantly in recent decades. These individuals, often disillusioned with traditional religious institutions, found in Musk's story a compelling synthesis of mysticism and modernity. Spiritual communities began incorporating Musk's message into their practices, using his emphasis on unity and moral responsibility as a framework for meditation, discussion, and activism. The geopolitical implications of Musk's message were also noteworthy. His call for unity and collaboration challenged the prevailing dynamics of competition and division among nations. In a world grappling with crises like climate change, resource scarcity, and geopolitical conflict, Musk's emphasis on interconnectedness served as a reminder that these challenges transcended borders. Some world leaders invoked his message in speeches and policy initiatives, using it to advocate for international cooperation on issues of global importance. While such efforts faced significant obstacles, they highlighted the potential for shared narratives to inspire collective action on a planetary scale. For Musk personally, the aftermath of his revelation marked a period of profound transformation. While his commitment to technological innovation remained unwavering, his approach to leadership evolved in subtle but meaningful ways. He began speaking more openly about the moral and ethical dimensions of his work, framing his projects not just as technical challenges, but as opportunities to contribute to the greater good. Colleagues and observers noted a newfound humility in his demeanor, a recognition of his own limitations, and a willingness to engage with perspectives beyond his own. At the same time, Musk's spiritual experience fueled a renewed sense of urgency in his work. His description of humanity's potential for greatness and destruction served as a stark reminder of the stakes involved in his projects. Whether it was developing sustainable energy solutions, colonizing Mars, or advancing artificial intelligence, Musk seemed driven by a deep conviction that these efforts were not merely optional, but essential to the survival and flourishing of humanity. This sense of purpose resonated with his employees and followers, inspiring a renewed commitment to the shared vision of a better future. Interestingly, Musk's account also reignited interest in ancient wisdom traditions, many of which emphasize themes of interconnectedness and moral responsibility. Scholars and spiritual leaders drew parallels between Musk's message and teachings from diverse traditions, from the Taoist concept of the Tao to the indigenous idea of living in harmony with the earth. These comparisons highlighted the universality of Musk's message, suggesting that it tapped into truths that had been recognized across cultures and eras. By linking his experience to these ancient ideas, commentators argued, Musk had bridged the gap between the past and the future, offering a timeless perspective on humanity's challenges. As the years passed, Musk's experience continued to shape his legacy in profound ways. While his technological achievements remained central to his identity, his spiritual encounter added a layer of complexity and depth that resonated with people across the globe. Whether one believed his story or not, there was no denying its impact on the way humanity envisioned its future. Musk's narrative became a touchstone for those seeking to balance progress with purpose, innovation with introspection, and ambition with humility. Musk's revelation served as a reminder of the power of individual experiences to spark collective transformation. His encounter with the divine, Whether interpreted as a literal event, a symbolic vision, or a psychological phenomenon, transcended the specifics of his life and work, becoming a story about humanity itself. It challenged people to rethink their assumptions, reevaluate their priorities, and recommit to the shared journey of existence. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us? What are your thoughts on Elon Musk's claim of returning from death? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.